It's supposed to be exciting, right? A new chapter.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The fresh start.
But sometimes that new beginning, it takes a turn, becomes something unsettling.
When the unfamiliarity isn't comforting, but kind of chilling.
Exactly, that feeling. So today we're sharing 3 true stories, accounts people shared online, that really get under your skin.
These are about those moments when a new home feels less like a sanctuary and more like, well, something else entirely.
They really tap into that vulnerability, when the walls you trust suddenly feel thin.
It's amazing how fast that sense of safety can just evaporate. You expect routine security in your home.
Right.
And moving throws that off. These stories show just how fragile that can be when, the unknown kind of invites itself in.
Okay, let's dive into the first one. This is from an 18-year-old. They just found themselves living alone after their roommates bailed.
Oh, wow. That's tough at 18.
Yeah, so they needed something cheap, found this place across town. Older, maybe a bit run down, but it was a roof over their head. But there was this really odd detail. A locked door in the hallway, right across from their bedroom.
A locked door connecting to where?
Well, the landlord, this guy Jackson, he said it connected to the next apartment. Said it would stay locked, basically just a wall.
That sounds a little strange right off the bat. That insistence on it being locked.
It really does. Why make a point of it? And for the first week, nothing. Silence from the other side. So quiet, it felt weird.
Oh, it's too quiet.
Yeah, maybe they could hear everything through this thin door, Anyway, one night, they're watching TV after work, and suddenly, thud. A loud noise from the hallway.
Okay.
They go check, thinking something fell, and that's when they see it. A sliver of light, like from a phone flashlight, moving under the connecting door.
Oh, creepy. So someone was in there.
Seemed like it. They just froze, listening. First sound they'd ever heard from there. Then, poof, the light's gone. Silence again.
Wow. That shift from total quiet to sudden noise and light. That's instant tension. Plays on that fear of what's just out of sight.
And it didn't stop there. Over the next few days, sometimes late at night, they'd hear muffled thuds again. Soft footsteps behind that door.
While they're trying to sleep.
Exactly. They never got up to look. What could you see? But it just created this really eerie feeling.
I bet. Knowing someone's moving around right next to you in the dark.
Then came the really bad night. Woken up by another thud, but way louder this time. Seriously loud.
Okay, now it's escalating.
Yeah, pure fear this time. They creep out of bed, listen at their own door, nothing. Silence. So they slowly open their door, peek across the hall, and
tell me.
The connecting door, it was open, just a crack showing darkness inside.
Oh my God, that's the moment. The barrier's gone.
Totally. Heart pounding, they creep over, peer through the gap, and they see a bedroom, smaller than theirs, totally empty, except for one thing.
Wow.
A single mattress, bare, just lying on the floor.
Just a mattress.
Yeah. And get this. No other doors, no windows visible, no other way in or out except through their apartment.
Wait, what? Accessible only through their place.
That's what it looked like. Just this small hidden room. They freaked out, obviously, grabbed their phone, called 911, checked their own apartment, thankfully empty.
So whoever was in there was gone by the time the police arrived.
Gone. The police came, looked around, but then it gets weirder. The landlord, Jackson, stopped answering his phone.
Vanished.
Completely. And they found out later Jackson probably wasn't even his real name. Just gone.
Wow. The disappearing landlord, the fake name, that adds a whole other layer. Makes you think he knew exactly what was going on with that room.
Right. So many questions. Who was in there? Jackson? Someone else? What were they doing? And how did that locked door get open? It's just so deeply unsettling.
It really is. That violation of your safe space, being unknowingly connected to something through your own apartment, it's profoundly disturbing. And no answers. Just that lingering vulnerability.
Okay, our next story takes us somewhere different. Not an apartment, but a house in a more rural area. More isolated.
Highlighting a different kind of vulnerability, perhaps.
Exactly. This is from a 19-year-old. They just moved with their parents after high school. Big change. They grew up suburban, same house forever.
Right.
This new place was hours away, much less populated. Big property, woods all around, neighbors far off. Felt really different.
That isolation in a new place can definitely ramp up the anxiety levels, especially coming from suburbia.
For sure. So just a couple weeks in, the parents go away on a business trip, leaving the listener alone in this new remote house for the first time.
Oh boy.
First day's fine. Second day, they're sitting out front on the porch, and they notice a guy. standing near the road, edge of the driveway, kind of by the trees.
Just standing there.
Yeah, just watching the house. They thought maybe a neighbor, so they gave a little wave.
Uh.
He immediately looks away, like snaps his head away and just walks off quickly down the road.
Odd. Definitely odd.
Yeah, weird, but they tried to brush it off. Later that night, though, between 1 and 2 a.m., they're in bed, having trouble sleeping because it's so quiet and unfamiliar. And they hear it. Footsteps. On the porch. Right outside the windows.
Oh, no.
Then, a soft click. And then the unmistakable creak of the front door opening. Slow.
Oh, that is terrifying. Going from seeing someone strange to them actually entering the house, security just shattered.
Completely frozen. Pure fear. They hear the footsteps inside now, moving quietly down the hall, trying not to make noise.
Oh, gosh.
They managed to scramble out of bed, lock their bedroom door, and hide behind it, heart just hammering.
Smart move. Locking the door.
Yeah. The footsteps move through the downstairs rooms, slow, methodical. Then silence. For what felt like forever.
Waiting. Listening.
Probably. Then suddenly the stairs creak, getting closer, closer. They're staring at their locked door and just terror.
I can only imagine.
And then they see a shadow under the door, flicker, and stop, right outside.
Right outside their door.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Just standing there for maybe a whole minute. Just listening, probably.
Yeah.
Then finally the shadow moves, goes down the hall toward the parents' bedroom. Did they try that door?
They didn't hear it open, so they assumed the person maybe just stood outside that door too, listening. Maybe thought someone was home because the door was closed.
That's a chilling thought. What were they after?
Who knows? Then the footsteps come back past their door, down the stairs, faster this time. Front door opens, closes. Silence.
Just gone.
Gone. They waited another 30 minutes, terrified it was a trick or something. Finally went downstairs. Front door wide open, house empty.
Wow. And the police.
Called them right away. Police searched, found nothing, no forced entry. Couldn't figure out how the door was unlocked. They changed the locks immediately, added a chain bolt.
Of course. But the big question remains.
Was it the same guy from the roadside? And what did he want? The parents thought maybe the closed master bedroom door spooked him, made him think they were home.
It's possible. But never knowing for sure.
Oh.
That's rough. Especially in an isolated place.
Yeah.
Makes you feel incredibly exposed.
It really does. That unknown motive just hangs there. Okay, one more story for you. This one involves relocating for work, renting sight unseen.
Ah, yes. The remote rental gamble.
Right. This person moved to a small town, totally new environment after living in cities their whole life. Felt like a fish out of water.
Understandable. Small towns can have their own atmosphere.
Definitely. The house they rented looked okay online, one of the newer ones, relatively speaking. But when they arrived after a long drive, big disappointment.
Oh, dear. Not as advertised.
Not really. Cracks in walls, water stains on ceilings, just signs of neglect that the photos conveniently missed. Felt cramped. But rental options were slim, so it seemed like the best bet.
Sometimes you feel stuck with the least bad option.
Exactly. They were exhausted after driving for 2 days straight. Decided to just crash on an air mattress in the living room the first night. Felt weird about sleeping alone upstairs in a totally empty house.
That makes sense. That initial night in a new place can feel vulnerable.
Well, about 30 minutes after lying down, maybe 1 a.m., sharp knock at the front door.
At 1 a.m. Okay, that's not normal.
No. They looked through the peephole. 2 men. Standing there, looking right at the door. Dark out, couldn't see faces clearly.
Just standing there.
Yeah. They knock again. Didn't seem like they were leaving. The listener just stayed quiet. Who would be knocking that late in a town where they knew absolutely nobody?
Good question. What happened?
After another tense half minute, one guy just turned and walked off, the other followed. Gone.
Weird. Very weird.
Totally. They spent like 15 minutes replaying it, trying to figure it out. But eventually, exhaustion won, and they fell asleep. Until about half an hour later, jolted awake again by a sound. A long, low, creaking sound from the other end of the house.
Oh no. Not another noise. That's instantly alarming in a new, strange house at night.
Instantly, heart racing, they flicked on the light, totally on edge, crept towards where the sound came from, far end of the house, looked around the room. Nothing seemed wrong at first, just empty. But then they saw it, the window. It was open just a tiny bit, a small gap.
The window was open. Had they checked it before?
That's the thing, their mind was racing. Had it been like that, they didn't think so. Quickly shut it, locked it. Stomach just sinks. Then they start checking everything, all the windows, all the doors.
What an idea.
And then, upstairs hallway, weak light coming up from downstairs. They see it right in the middle of the floorboards.
What?
A shoe print. A single scuffed shoe print on the wood floor.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's proof. Undeniable proof.
Exactly. That feeling, seeing that print, knowing someone was in the house while they were asleep downstairs, it's terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying. The violation.
Police came, confirmed it, looked like someone got in through that downstairs window while they were asleep in the living room.
So someone, maybe two someones, if it was the guys from the door, were inside, moving around, while they were right there, vulnerable.
Chilling, isn't it? Just the thought of these unknown people inside, maybe watching them sleep, and you have to wonder, were they connected to the guys at the door earlier?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
What did they want? Like the other stories, the motive is just this terrifying blank.
It really underscores that fragility, doesn't it? Our sense of safety at home. These stories show how vulnerable we are when someone breaches that space. Leaves you feeling violated, exposed.
That feeling that the one place you should feel absolutely secure has been compromised. It's deeply unsettling.
So these 3 accounts, all happening in a new home, that supposed sanctuary, they're just stark reminders of how easily the unfamiliar can flip into something really ominous.
Yeah, that whole idea of a fresh start, moving,
Yeah.
it can suddenly expose you to things you just never expected. Really unnerving stuff.
It makes you pause, right? Think about that basic expectation of safety we have in our homes and just how fragile it can feel when the unknown is right there, outside the door or maybe even inside.
Definitely gives you something to think about regarding your own sense of security.
Well, thank you for joining us for this unsettling exploration today. If these stories resonated with you, maybe made you check your own locks, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Horror Docs.
Yeah, we'll have more stories that, well, might keep you up at night. Thanks for listening.